Hey guys, it's me, Legomaster627, and welcome to a very special episode of Legomaster627's creation. This episode is going to be very different from what you're used to seeing in this series, so I hope you're ready for it. What you are about to see for the next 45 minutes took me 3 long days to make. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this special episode of Legomaster627's creations. Automatically starting off our tour, as you can see, the water park entrance has been updated, with the water park not being updated. However, that's completely fine. As you can see though, the treehouse pillars are decorated with light and dark green wool as little streamers. Heading up to the treehouse itself, the floor windows are updated in green as well, which are really cool. And it also goes along here as well. We have a shamrock right here as well, alongside our first item being the St. Patrick's 2024 hat. Let's pick it up and put it on. That is how it looks. Looks really cool. And yes, as you can see, we have even more streamers on the pillars as well. Now, over here is not updated, but that's completely fine, as it was completely decked in green the previous year. And I mean like the whole room. Continuing up the treehouse, we can see even more stained glass on the floor. Or just, yeah, stained glass. Anyway, that also means that my room is also updated. Now, much like the little room with the cat dispenser, this room was entirely decorated with green the previous year. And I mean the walls, floors, and ceiling and everything. As you can see, that has been completely reversed this time around, and instead changed to this. I hope you guys love it. As you can see, the map has been updated to reflect the ongoing party. Next up is the Planet World Pet Cemetery, which as you can see, there is only some minor decorations, such as the fences being updated in green, and the little sand here being updated also in green, with the pool also being updated in green, which is pretty cool. And then heading into the room itself, there's not too much outside of this gigantic shamrock, then the stairs being updated alongside the fence. That's all there is to the room. Next up is the village, which as you can see, mainly just has a ton of green decorations. But this time, the last year's party had mainly just these blocks all across the buildings. You may notice this time around, it's actually now a mix of both the waxed weathered copper and the waxed oxidized copper. With that in mind, they look like this. And it honestly looks really cool from this perspective. See? Even this thing here is updated, which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, because it just goes all over. Heading on into this house specifically, we can clearly see that there's not that much decoration, but there is a green and cyan bed, with also a green couch as well. It's really cool how this room looks. Heading on into this house next, there's really only just one minor difference, and that's just this cyan bed. Heading on into this house, we mainly can see a green bed right there, and then the table being updated in green as well. Heading into the lighthouse, we can actually see that it has been fully redesigned in green, including the staircase, which is actually impressive, including the balcony, and even more crazier, the lights itself. It's honestly really cool how I was able to get that to actually work. Heading into the library next, as we can see, obviously we got a villager, but it's mainly just more green decorations, such as a green couch, two green tables, and a green desk. There's not much beyond that point. Heading into the blacksmith area next, we can see that of course it's all decorated in green, which is really cool. To be quite honest though, there's not much else outside of the fences being updated in green as well. Next up is the Action World series, and as you can see, the farm has been updated in green, which is pretty cool. The cabin, my bad, as you can see, has been updated with green fences, and also, unlike the previous year, it is not completely covered in green this time. Nope, it has been completely toned down, with all there being just this very couch right here. Those were meant to be regular torches, my bad. Thankfully it's that way on the other side, which as you can see, we can literally describe this room in literally just this one angle, which is actually pretty cool. Finally, we get to our first Pi Day room, which is right here. Because as you can see, yep, the hotel is updated and it's where we get our first Pi Day item, the Pi Day 2024 hat. Let's put it on. That is how it looks. It looks very, very nice. As for the room itself, it's not much actually. It's mainly just the carpet going in here, alongside a huge table filled with pies. And there's also some banners going along here as well, alongside more pies on the table. To clarify, the upstairs is not updated. We actually have another Pi Day theme thing over here, which is pretty cool. And unlike previous years, we actually have the pie symbol around, which is actually cool. You may have noticed there were actually 2 of them on this building. But there's nothing in that chest that's related. So, you'll see 2 pies right there, alongside some more pressure plates to obviously have them on, which is pretty cool. And yeah, next up, literally right next to it, we can see that this is updated for St. Patrick's Day, which is mainly the campfire, all decked out in green. It honestly looks really, really cool. Next up is the Legos Island series, which, as you can see, the resort actually hosts our next item, being the St. Patrick's 2024 banner. Let's go ahead and put that on and have a copy right there. That is how it looks. Now, as for the room, as you can see, we have 3 shamrocks right over here on the dock, but with umbrellas looking like this as well, which is actually pretty cool, with also some of the banners being there alongside it. Next up is the Legos Island Pet Cemetery, which all it really is mainly just some minor St. Patrick's Day decorations, with the lights being changed to green. The same can also apply upstairs as well, which is literally the same thing as downstairs, so not too much to see here. Next up is the coffee shop, which is actually our next Pi Day room, and is also where the Pi Day 2024 banner is available. Let's put that on. And that is how it looks. As for the room itself, it mainly hosts, obviously, another Pi Day themed room, with banners all over the place, and more pies spread across the room, which honestly is super, super cool. Next up is the library, and it's not much because it's mainly just streamers, green lights, and the desk being updated. There's not much to say here. Next up is the first house in the village, which is mainly just more green lights, more streamers, and more importantly, the green and cyan bed. The same can actually apply in this room. The only difference is that we actually have a table here. Next up is the clothes shop, which all there really is just the stairs and the little ground here alongside the desk being updated. Outside of that, there's nothing else to this room. Next up is the lodge, which as you can see, there is a lot of decorations around here. Mainly right here, and then heading on upstairs we can see even more decoration with even more green lights, streamers, and more importantly, just more green decorations all around the room in general, which honestly look really, really cool. The attic is not updated. The final location in this tour is my old house, which as you can see is decked out for Pi Day. So you'll obviously see the shutters everywhere, alongside some actual banners, and another pie symbol, which is honestly really, really cool. Heading into the house itself, there's actually only just a few rooms decorated. It also can be where we will find our last Pi Day themed item, the Pi Day 2024 shutter, which goes right there, which is what we just saw outside. The kitchen, as you can see, is updated for this party, which is actually pretty cool. And it really only hosts just this specific event right here. The classroom is also updated in this party, being one of the more important rooms in the Pi Day party. Because as you can see over here on the board, we have the equation being 3.14, alongside the day that this party released, March 11th, 2024. Below the equation, we have a pie on top of the fridge here. And then over here, you can see that there are 4 more pies on the shelves right here. And then, as you can see, we have pies on all 4 desks in the room, which is really, really cool. To clarify, the rest of the house is not updated. Well, except the lanai, that's updated. As you can see, while there's no more Pi Day items, there is one final Pi Day room, which is literally right here. It's not too much because it's mainly just the banners, the carpet, and just more pies spread across the room with these Pi Day symbols right here. 2 of them actually. And that's it for the Pi Day room. Now we just have a few more St. Patrick's Day rooms left, which are all right here in the old yard. First up is the tree next to the lanai. You'll notice that it obviously features more wool that we saw similarly to the tree house. You'll also notice the fence has been updated as well to reflect the green colors. Over here at the dirt area, this has been changed to moss, with the log being changed to this, and more wool on the tree as well, acting as streamers, which is pretty cool. The field has nothing, but the time machine does have something, which is just more wool as streamers. The time machine glass on the roof has been updated, alongside the curtain being updated to green. The tree over here also has more streamers. As for the pump house, it'll also be where we ironically find our last item in the overall party, the St. Patrick's 2024 shutter, with the pump house itself also being updated in green, which is actually really cool. And even up here is also updated, which is honestly so cool. Thank God it's not as chaotic as the year beforehand, where I went a little too nuts. Even the path was updated. But as you can see, that has been fully removed. And as we go over here, it's not as much compared to the previous year. Still a bit though. The final room, over there's the last room. The second to last room is right here at the tree next to the garden, with the logs being updated in green and more streamers on the tree. The final room is right here at the shed, where it's mainly just this tree being decorated in streamer. And that is the Pi Day / St. Patrick's Day 2024 event. Automatically starting off our tour, we're actually going to start off right here in the resort, because that's actually where the Legos Island 7th anniversary hat is located. Let's pick it up and let's put it on. This is how the hat looks, and it looks really, really cool. As for the resort itself, we can see that it actually plays out a very similar design to the actual 7th anniversary party that occurred on the island itself, with all the colors from the said party actually carrying over here, which is actually pretty cool and pretty interesting. With all that being said, there are banners all over the place, which are really cool, and we have a number 7 right down there in the 3 colors, alongside the dog being made out of yellow, aka bamboo. Next up is the blacksmith shop, which actually does not have that much decoration. There's mainly just these poles being made out of bamboo as well, with also some banners and some cakes right here. And even heading on the inside, there's also even more banners and another table with a cake with a blue candle on it. Next up is the Legos Island Pet Cemetery. First off, on the outside, you can see there's a ton of streamers and banners all over the place. On the inside, there are a ton of decorations, such as cakes dedicated to all 3 colors of the party, which are actually really cool. And there's also plenty of banners alongside them, which is actually pretty cool. Even the carpet's been redesigned. Going upstairs, we can see even more of the same thing that we just saw downstairs, which is actually really, really cool. As, yeah, it really does show a lot of color in this party. Next up is the coffee shop. On the outside, we can see even more streamers and more banners. On the inside, we can see even more cool decorations, such as more banners, more cakes, and more tables with cakes on them. That's really all there is with this room. Next up is the library, which has even more streamers and banners on the outside. On the inside, it's mainly just more banners and also some cakes on the couch, with the desk also being redesigned. Next up is the first village house, which has even more streamers and banners on the outside. On the inside, the beds have been transformed to yellow and light blue. But mainly, this room mainly consists of just even more banners and free cakes in the free iconic colors of this party. Next up is the second village house, which has even more streamers and banners on the outside. On the inside, it pretty much plays the exact same thing that we just saw in the other house. But this time, the bed has actually been turned from light blue to dark blue. There's more banners and another table with another cake on it, with also some cakes on the furnaces as well. Next up is the clothes shop, which has even more streamers and banners on the outside. On the inside, the entire little ground down here has been turned into the colors of this party, with even more cakes on the counters and more banners, as you can see, specifically spread across the room. Next up is the lodge. First of all, we have more banners over here, more streamers, and a number 7 made out of the colors of the party. On the inside of the lodge, it's mainly just more banners. And speaking of banners, we finally can claim the 7th anniversary banner, which is really cool. As you can see, it's mainly just more banners and more cakes spread across the room, with the carpet also being updated. On the upstairs of the lodge, we can see basically the exact same thing, except this time there's actually cakes on the tables and more carpet right here. But mainly it's just more banners, which is actually as expected. The attic has also been updated, reflecting even more banners and more cakes seen in the background of the room. Lastly but not least is the Legos Island event room. It's mainly just cakes on the anvil, crafting table, and loom. But mainly, this room actually mainly only just consists of just mostly banners, which is actually true, considering that's basically the only decorations here outside of course, the free cakes that are in here. Oh, and of course, the map has also been updated for this party as well, with the only part of the world decorated being literally right in this very spot right here. That is the Legos Island 7th anniversary celebration. Starting off the tour, as we can see, the entire water park entrance has turned into a gigantic portal. However, when you go down there, it says April Fools because, as you can see, all of the water has been completely drained from the water park entrance. The pillars holding up the treehouse have actually been decorated for Easter, with yellow, pink, green, and blue being the respective colors that are decorated on these pillars, and are in fact the 4 Easter colors seen throughout the party. The treehouse itself is actually fully decorated for Easter, as you can see by the floor windows. Because as you can see, it is full on Easter up here, which is actually really cool. And speaking of which, that's where we find our first item, the Easter 2024 hat. Let's put it on. That's how it looks, which is really cool. Continuing on, if we actually head on in here, we actually will find our first egg out of a ton of them. That can explain what the egg icon is for. Continuing on our way up through the treehouse, we can see even more Easter colors on the windows, which are pretty cool. And then, heading into my room itself, it's all Easter themed in here. And I mean every bit of it is completely Easter themed, which is awesome. Because I don't think we've properly had the treehouse decorated for Easter before prior to this. The closest we got was 2021, but that event never fully ended up happening. Before continuing on, we can see the entire map has been updated, reflecting the following changes for this party. Next up is the pet cemetery in the planet world, which the sand has been transformed into a little portal. The fences have been changed to pink and purple. And if we head on inside, as you can see, the floor has been completely turned to honey. Now, as we all know, you cannot jump on honey. So this is basically a little trap. That's why it says April Fool's right there, as it is a little prank. Because now, we can't get out of here. The upstairs is not updated, but the pool is, and this is actually interesting, because, as you can see, it is fully powdered snow over here, which is really, really cool. But, you can actually find an item in here. Here's the thing. If you dig deep enough, you will actually be able to find an item right here. The April Fool's 2024 hat. Let's put it on, and that's how it looks. Looks really, really cool. Next up is the village, and we're actually going to find a good amount of eggs here. One of them actually being back there. However, we need to actually break through here to be able to claim the egg. Now, as for the decorations themselves, you can see that they are all pastel colors. The same applies here as well, which is actually pretty cool. Another thing applies here too, where all the buildings are respectively decorated with pastel colors, such as yellow, pink, green, and blue, as we can see all across the buildings, which are actually really, really cool. And what's cool is that some of these actually have eggs in them, which will become very handy very, very soon. Even the lighthouse has something to offer, and I think there's even an egg in there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, even the blacksmith area has something to offer, which is actually really cool. First off, this house. As you can see, there are some slight colors such as yellow and pink couch right here. Yep, a yellow and pink couch. A yellow and pink bed right there, and a yellow and pink table and chairs. The only difference with this house is just the yellow bed right here. This house does have a few differences. One of them being the bed, and then the table being updated with yellow, pink, and tan respectively. The lighthouse also has some changes, but also it can be where we find our next egg. Heading up to the balcony itself, you'll notice that the stairs have changed from pink and tan, which is pretty cool. As you can see, the balcony, or beacon, is completely Easter themed, which is actually really, really cool. I really like how that one came out. The library also has some pretty cool decorations, but also hosts two eggs right there and right there. Outside of that, it's mainly just more pink, yellow, green, and blue decorations alongside more pink and yellow couches. So far, we only have 5 eggs, but I think that's all the ones for the village. The blacksmith area does have some pink and yellow fences, and in here, a pink and yellow table and chair. Next up is the Action World series, which is completely April Fool's theme, so we're not going to find any eggs here. The farm here, as you can see, has been changed from water to lava, with it saying April Fool's as a little joke. Because obviously, it's been changed from water to lava. I'm surprised all the farm did not get completely destroyed in the process. But the colors have changed here as well, which is pretty cool. Another thing you might notice is that the cabin is decorated, but this is actually done a bit differently. Watch. When we head inside to the first one, the room has been completely reversed. Normally, the cobblestone couch is here. But as you can see, it is now the bunk beds and table with the flower pot. It says April Fool's because this is normally not how the room's supposed to look. That's because on the other side, it now has the cobblestone couch, with it also saying April Fool's, as once again, this is normally where the bunk beds are supposed to be. As you can see, we have a window actually going into both rooms, proving that they have been reversed and flipped around. The table of plates and cakes have been replaced with Ender Dragon eggs, which is pretty cool. The campfire and logs, though, have also been changed, with redstone torches replacing the normal torches, and barrels replacing the logs that are normally here. However, little do you realize, there's actually an item here. It is in one of these many barrels. To save you all time, it is in this specific barrel right here, where we can find the April Fool's 2024 banner in that specific barrel. Besides that, there is nothing else here. Next up is the Lego's Island series, and the resort is the only room decorated here. as none of the other inside rooms are updated. There's also no item here, so we will get through this rather quickly. As you can see, the water has been replaced with slime, and the whole entire dock has turned into a gigantic portal, with the umbrellas changing into the April Fool's colors of pink and magenta, which is actually pretty cool. Besides that, there is nothing else to say here. It really does look cool though. Lastly but not least is my old house, which on the inside is all Easter themed. In the yard, it's all April Fool's Day themed, with a tiny mix of Easter. You can see that there's Easter shutters all over the place, right here on the first floor. On the second floor windows, it's all the April Fool's Day ones, referencing both respectively, which is pretty cool. Going into the house itself, we can see that I was not actually kidding about that, which as you can see, it is mainly all Easter colors in here, which is actually really cool. It's nice that I was able to redesign a good majority of things. We actually will find our next egg right here in the closet behind the stairs. The kitchen, as you can see, has also got some pretty cool Easter decorations. Not much here, outside of the table and the counters being updated alongside the little pillar that's normally here. However, our next egg is right here, which is actually pretty cool. Besides that, there's nothing else down here. The upstairs has actually been updated as well, and we're actually going to find our next egg actually right behind here. Now, that is also decorative for Easter as well. The classroom also has been updated for Easter, which also shares the date that this event released. March 31st, 2024, with it saying Happy Easter 2024. That's mainly because this entire room is all decorated for Easter, which is actually pretty cool. And the chairs are the 3 respective colors that we've been seeing all across the house. Besides that, there's nothing else to say here. Next up is my room, which actually has an egg all the way over here if you look carefully. So I think we got 9 eggs total now. I think we only need like 2 more. Or 1 more. Regardless. My room is actually updated for this party, which is actually pretty cool, as it mainly shares a lot of the colors that we've been seeing all across the house, such as the shelves being updated in yellow and pink, with these parts being updated in the 4 iconic colors that we've been seeing. The table even is updated too, similarly to downstairs, and even the nightstand is updated, which is actually really cool, as normally that's something I never normally do in here. Next up is the lanai, which is actually the last full-on Easter room. It's also where we're going to find our next egg, right there in the fireplace. And I think we have officially completed the egg hunt. So, we will get the following banner. The Easter 2024 banner. With that now in our hand, we can explore the remainder of the lanai, which mainly just has the carpet here being in the 4 colors that we've been seeing across the party. The wind curtains have also been updated with the iconic colors, alongside the rug right here, which is actually really cool. Lastly, the barrel has the icons being changed from apples to eggs. That's just some nice detail. Lastly but not least is the old back, which actually shouldn't take long. That's because this is a remake of the 2018 April Fool/Easter event. That's because we were supposed to do this in 2023, but there was no April Fool's party that year, nor Easter. So we're doing it this year instead, which makes sense since they're both merged together. What's crazy about this is that this one room can be actually summed up in this one angle. We can see the chairs have been tipped over, with that normally being the yellow towel. There are eggs right here on top of the igloo, which has also been completely flipped around, or turned upside down. We also have a red banner right there. The tree next to the garden has been updated with some eggs and 2 boxes right here, like the original. The pump house has been updated again with a little mini wood project, but it's actually where we're going to find the April Fool's 2024 shutter, with some more eggs right there. And also, if you look, there's actually one hidden behind the shutter, which is pretty cool. The tree next to the pump house mainly has the 2 garbage cans that used to be here, alongside 2 boxes that were right next to it. This next room is also where we're going to find our final item in the party, the Easter 2024 shutter, which we'll put that on. As you can see, this sign says Happy Easter with 2 more eggs right there. And lastly, but not least, the final room in this entire party and remake is this at the field with 3 more eggs, 1 in the hole, and then a ton more boxes all around here, with this saying April Fools, officially concluding the event. That's a wrap on Easter Fools. Starting off our tour, we can see that there are 2 trees right here, right behind the water park entrance, which also has been transformed into an earth, which is actually really cool. There's also another tree right over here as well. And not to mention, there are trees right over here where I normally stand in the intro. And one over here as well, alongside some Earth Day themed streamers spread across the treehouse. Speaking of the treehouse, going up here, we can see cyan and green stained glass for the floor windows, which are really cool. We can see even more up here as well. This has been transformed into an earth as well. And we have even more Earth Day streamers. And it's also where we can find our first item, the Earth Day 2024 hat. Let's put it on. And that's how it looks. As you can see, right there. It pretty much blends in with the exact colors of this party, which are awesome. Continuing on the tour, there is nothing in that room over there. But if we continue on here, we have even more decorations, with even more colors on the window floors, or the floor windows. Heading up all the way over to the treehouse, even my room is decorated as well, which looks very, very cool. Kind of similar to the St. Patrick's Day party, minus most of the green elements. Oh, and fun fact, that was the only inside room decorated. All the other inside rooms are not decorated, and this is a fully outside event. I thought I'd clarify that before we continue. Let's continue. The map, as you can see, is updated, reflecting the following changes that this party applies. Next up is the Planet World Pet Cemetery. As you can see, there's a tree right next to it. However, there's also the sand here that has been turned into an earth-themed sand. We can see even more trees right here, here, and here, with the pool being updated in really cool Earth Day themed colors, which is honestly really, really cool. Outside of that, there's nothing else here. Next up is the village, which, as you can see, is fully decorated for this party. Every single building has been transformed into an Earth theme, as you can see. There are many trees spread across the room, or the area, with our second item being available, the tree banner. Let's pick it up and let's put it on. That is how it looks. Anyway, continuing on, like I said, there are many trees spread across the area, which are actually really cool. There's like 4 trees right here, and then another one over here, another one over here, and then there are some right behind most of the houses, which also, as you can see, give off an Earth-themed vibe, which is actually pretty cool, I'm not going to personally lie, as it took a while to pull this off for the most part. Honestly, this came out really well. And yeah, with all that being said, check it out. Even the lighthouse has something really interesting. Nothing on the inside though, as it mainly reuses the decorations we saw in the St. Patrick's Day party. Up here on the balcony does look slightly different, with the lights being changed to a lit up earth, which is actually pretty cool. Heading over here to the blacksmith area, this has mainly been turned into an earth, which mainly looks like this on the inside, and over here. So, that's pretty cool. Besides that, there is nothing else to say here about the village, other than the fact that this looks amazing. Next up is the Action World series, which, as you can see right here, the farm has been updated with even more Earth Day colors, alongside the cabin right over here, alongside the hotel, which are all only decorated on the outside. There are more trees over here, as you can see, that spread across the entire area for the most part. And over here, the campfire and logs have been changed to the spruce logs, to reflect the spruce trees that we see around the party, which is actually pretty cool, including the little cake area with all the plates. That's been updated too, Outside of that, there is nothing else to say here. Next up is the Legos Island series, and this actually won't even take long considering the resort is literally the only room updated. There are many trees spread across the area, not to mention that tree's always been here. But these trees over here, including this one, are decorations for this party. As for the resort itself, being the only actual room decorated in this part of the world, we can see that it is taking a full-on Earth theme with the dock and the umbrella chairs. The umbrellas as well, which are very, very cool and honestly give up such a really, really cool Earth vibe. Outside of that, there's nothing else. Lastly but not least is my old house, but we're not actually going inside the house. On the outside though, as you can see, we have full-on Earth shutters, which there is an item for that, which we will get to very soon. Outside of that, like I stated, the house inside is not updated, but the lanai is. So, as you can see, outside of, the carpet here, being updated in cyan and green. Mainly, well, that's light blue, but that's besides the point. As you can see, the plants have actually been changed to spruce trees, like what we've been seeing across the party. You also can notice that the little rug here has changed into a little Earth. And also, the blinds here, the window curtains, there we go, have been changed into Earths as well. It's crazy that I'm now starting to really update these now, which is pretty cool. Anyway, that's really all there is for the lanai. Now, the backyard itself. Starting off with the tree next to the lanai, as we can see, the fence has been fully updated to reflect the colors that we've been seeing across the party. The same can also apply to the tree itself, which mainly looks like this. The dirt area also reflects the same colors as well, but there are some minor differences, such as the dirt being changed to this specific green, with the log also being changed to this as well, and the wood as well. The field, as you can see with the hole, has nothing. However, this is updated though, right here, which mainly has more streamers made out of Earth decorations. The time machine curtain has been changed to cyan alongside the roof window. This tree has even more Earth Day streamers, which is pretty cool. Over here, the pump house has been updated with even more Earth Day colors, which is actually pretty cool, including holding our last item in the overall party, the Earth Shutter, which is ironically in the exact same place as the St. Patrick's Day party, ironically. Outside of that, up here has also been changed with the Earth Day colors as well, which is actually really cool. Honestly, this actually fits pretty well. The rest of the treehouse, as you can see, with the slide being updated in cyan as well, reflecting the Earth colors, which are actually pretty cool. Lastly but not least, over there is decorated. The tree next to the garden, alongside the logs from the St. Patrick's Day party, have been updated with more Earth Day colors. Lastly but not least is the shed itself, with the acacia tree being updated in the Earth Day colors as streamer. And that is the Earth Day 2024 event. First of all, it is evening/night, which makes total sense for this occasion as the graduation took place in the evening, more particularly looking like this. Starting off the tour, we can see 2 USF banners right here, and the floor windows leading up to the treehouse have been updated in yellow and gold, which are the 2 USF colors. As you can see, we have even more USF banners spread across the area, with even more floor windows being decorated in yellow and gold, with a little dance floor right here in the middle, with 4 more USF banners alongside it. You'll also notice that while we still have the Earth Day 2024 hat here from the Earth Day party, it has actually been replaced with green and gold streamers on the pillar here, which is actually really cool. Another thing is that this room actually has decoration on it, with 4 USF banners right here. And on the inside, we can actually see 6 more USF banners spread across the room as some nice little decoration. As we continue progressing up the treehouse, we can see even more of the floor windows have changed to green and gold, which is actually really cool. And as we make our way to the top, we can see that we have 8 more USF banners, 4 on each side, with the USF sign made out of gold, which is actually really cool. And then, if you head into my bedroom, you can see that there are streamers all over the place with even more USF banners all over the place. We even have this really cool sign that says, "Congrats, class of 2024, with the graduation cap and USF banners right next to it. We can put those on and replace the items we got during the Earth Day party, which as you can see, I already have copies of here in my inventory. This is how they look, and it honestly looks really cool. So, yeah, another thing you can notice is that the carpet in this room has also been changed to green and yellow, reflecting the colors alongside the bed as well. What's kind of funny is that I think this might be the first time that we have like proper streamers in here in this particular room, because normally they're torches. So that's a nice change. I should also mention that this event is exclusive to the treehouse. And here's an overview to prove that. It's a nice way to celebrate this major accomplishment of mine in real life. Oh, I completely forgot to mention that the map was also updated to reflect the mini event on the treehouse as well, which looks like that. That is the USF graduation event. Starting off the tour, we can see the water park entrance has once again been decorated, as usual. We also can see 4 Mojang banners all across the water park on all 4 corners. We also have this creeper face made out of amethyst, which is actually pretty cool, and there's actually a few of them spread across the event, which is pretty cool. You'll also notice another Mojang banner and one of these cool anniversary creeper banners, which you're actually going to be seeing those all across the party, including these colors as well. Heading up to the treehouse, the floor windows have been changed to purple and magenta, reflecting the colors of the party. You'll notice even more anniversary and Mojang banners all over the place. And more, of course, magenta and purple for the floor windows. Over here, though, is where things get interesting. You'll notice that the huge floor window has been changed to a number 15, made out of amethyst. It'll also be where we find our first item, the Minecraft 15th anniversary hat. Let's put it on. That's how it looks. There are 4 Mojang banners surrounding the number 15, with more of those banners alongside the anniversary banners being on top and below the hat, as you can see. Another thing you might notice is that when we go into the room with the cat dispenser, you'll notice that there's Mojang banners on both sides with 2 anniversary banners in the middle. Heading on in here, we can see even more Mojang banners and more anniversary banners all across the room, which is actually pretty cool. As we progress up the treehouse, we can see even more purple and magenta on the floor windows, which are pretty cool. Anyway, up here, we can see even more anniversary and Mojang banners. 4 of each, but 8 banners up here overall, which is really cool. Heading on into my bedroom, we can see even more banners here, alongside my bed being decked out in purple, with the carpet being changed to amethyst and purple, mainly light purple, with even more of these banners spread across the room as well. It's honestly really cool. I forgot to mention that there are streamers based off of these colors here as well on the pillars of the treehouse. Next up is the Action World series. Now it's mainly the outside that's decorated for this, so we're not going to be going into any of the inside rooms such as the cabin and hotel. The farm, as you can see, is decorated with more of the amethyst and purple colors, but this time with cakes on top of them, which is pretty cool. More banners can be seen as well, such as 2 anniversary banners on both sides and a Mojang banner in the middle, with more amethyst and purple decorations. And even the fences got updated too. Over here also got updated with more purple and amethyst decorations, with cakes now having candles on them. The campfire area also is decorated with these respective colors, with the logs being changed to purple as well, with more anniversary and Mojang banners on all 4 torches, which are really, really cool. There's also some Mojang and anniversary banners on the hotel as well. Next up is the Legos Island series, which the only place decorated here is the resort. It's also where we're going to find our next free item, the Minecraft 15th anniversary banner. Let's put that on. That's how it looks. As for the actual design, we can see another amethyst creeper in the middle, with the rest of this just being made out of purple, with more Mojang and anniversary banners spread across the room, with the umbrellas being changed to purple and amethyst as well, as you can clearly see. Outside of that, there's nothing else to say about this design. I forgot to show you the map earlier, but as you can see, it is updated. Next up is the Planet World Pet Cemetery, which as you can see more Mojang and anniversary banners spread across here, including up here, which is actually pretty cool. As for the pool itself, we can see even more anniversary banners and more Mojang banners spread across the room, or around the pool respectively, with the pool being decorated in more purple and amethyst colors, which is honestly really, really cool. Lastly but not least is the village, which as you can see is mainly decorated with more anniversary and Mojang banners. As you can see, spread across the area, which is honestly really cool, as mainly all the houses, at least on the outside, are decorated with these banners all over the place, which is actually really cool. And see, even the lighthouse got decked out with these. Not on the top though. But it still can show that you can see that I did put a lot of dedication when it went into this, which is honestly really cool. And see, even in here actually got some decoration, which is really, really cool. The last place to have decoration is the work shed. It's also where we're going to find our final item, the Mojang banner, which officially wraps up the entire event in terms of items. The last 2 set of decorations include just more Mojang and anniversary banners, with another number 15 made out of amethyst. And that is the Minecraft 15th anniversary. Oh, that was sure some interesting events. It's crazy to believe what could have happened if the world wasn't shut down. And now we saw exactly that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. See ya!